I'm Kirk Martin with RKD Engineering, and I'm going to be talking about utilizing our UltraPrep 2 to do die surface delayering. The UltraPrep 2 is a very versatile machine intended for mechanical sample preparation for almost anything involved in failure analysis. We are introducing new processes and new accessories to go along with the system to allow effective die delayering. To understand the process, we need to first look at the mechanisms of polishing. There are two different modes of polishing. One where the abrasive and pad are in direct contact with the die surface. This is the most common and the fastest way to remove material. There is another process where the pad is not in contact with the surface and the abrasive particles impinge on the die surface and remove material that way. The process with pad and direct contact allows for variations in the pressure as the pad moves on and off of the die surface. This significantly rounds the edges and makes it impossible to maintain planarity. With the pad at some distance from the die surface, the particles hit the die surface, remove material, and they do that uniformly. So the only thing that we need to keep track of is the die size, the tool travel beyond the edge of the die, and the distance from the die surface. We have added new programming features and new operating features to allow the entry of these parameters to give the operator adequate control when actually processing a device. The planarity can be adjusted during the process by adjusting both the tilt and the travel controls that are available on the actual running screen. The die is mounted in a special way. It is attached to an optical flat utilizing an adhesive that is very thin and is set with UV light so that the die can be pressed into a very small quantity of the adhesive and brought so that its surface is parallel with the surface of the optical flat. The optical flat is then, with the die, is then mounted into a special holder that goes onto the UltraPrep. During the startup of the process, the UltraPrep measures the plane of the optical flat surface. It doesn't do a profile or come in contact with the die itself. If it did so, it might damage or chip the die. So, the die surface is rarely clean. There's usually solder bumps, bond wires, all kinds of things on it that need to be removed. Those are removed initially utilizing an abrasive pad. The pad removes material very rapidly and is usually done in contact with the die surface because there's passivation covering the lower levels. After the the passivation is removed, then we go to the impact mode where the abrasive pad is some distance off of the surface. The material is removed slowly, and which gives the operator time both for planarity adjustments and for periodic determination of endpoint. The system is also capable of working with CMP slurries where there is enough chemical selectivity so that endpoint detection is not anywhere near as critical. The UltraPrep with the correct accessories allows effective and planar removal of individual layers from an active surface. It is particularly effective at planar delayering of die that are too small to be done by the normal finger lapping process. Larger die can be processed as well, but complete planarity is problematic because of distortions in the die surface itself. The accessories available for the UltraPrep allow for mounting, processing, and we even have a special pump for CMP dispensing during the process. RKD Engineering equipment is made for semiconductor sample preparation. The samples being prepared for failure analysis are not to be damaged, destroyed, or have any artifacts left. This is our aim. This is what we do with our equipment. We service the semiconductor industry and no other. Thank you.